Nice move, walks off the wall, quick shot, and he scores.
How old were you in 1993?
12. Far side, what a finish!
He was nobody's top pick a year ago. A talented kid, sure, but not the name lighting up draft boards. Fast forward to today, and defenseman Matthew Schaefer of the Erie Otters in the OHL is the guy some scouts are calling the best prospect in the 2025 NHL Draft. But how does that happen? How does a 17-year-old go from under the radar to the top of the heap in a matter of months? This isn't just about stats or highlight reels. It's about who Schaefer is, his drive, his story, his obsession with being great. Stick with me as we uncover the truth behind the hype. Oh, and a quick note, about 80% of you watching this week aren't subscribed. If you love hockey deep dives like this, hit that subscribe button, like, and drop a comment below, and let's grow this community.
Box. Schaefer coming in, he scores.
So let's start at the beginning. Schaefer was born September 5, 2007 in Stony Creek, Ontario, a small city nestled between Toronto and Niagara Falls. It's the kind of place where hockey isn't just a sport, it's a way of life. Schaefer grew up on backyard rinks, chasing pucks with his older brother, learning to skate before he could tie his own shoes. His dad, a former junior player, coached him early, instilling a love for the game's grind. Skating drills, stick handling in the garage, and stuff that builds character before talent. By age 15, Schaefer was turning heads in minor hockey with the Hamilton Huskies. His skating, fluid, effortless, and elite, caught the eye of OHL scouts. In 2022, the Erie Otters drafted him 9th overall, a high pick, but not the headliner. His first OHL season was solid, 56 games, 17 points, and flashes of brilliance. But it was this year, 2024-25, where everything changed. Despite playing just 17 games due to a broken collarbone from the World Juniors, Schaefer exploded for 7 goals, 22 points, and 88-point pace. For a defenseman at 17, that's not just good, that's special. What's wild is how underrated he stayed for so long. While names like Michael Misa and James Hagens dominated headlines, Schaefer was quietly building a case as the draft's cornerstone prospect. His journey from Stony Creek to the top of NHL Central Scouting's North American skater ranking isn't just about skill, it's about a kid who refused to be overlooked. So what's driving Matthew Schaefer? It's not just talent, it's obsession. In interviews, he's calm, almost reserved, but there's a fire behind his words. He told NHL.com he was pumped for the draft lottery, not because of the spotlight, but because it meant he was one step closer to his dream. That's telling. Schaefer isn't chasing clout, he's chasing greatness. His teammates and coaches rave about his intangibles. Erie Otters head coach Stan Butler called him a leader who plays like every shift is his last. At the World Juniors, his defense partner Oliver Bonk said, "He's lightning quick, but what sets him apart is he plays both ends at a high level." That's high praise from a guy who knows elite defenders. Schaefer's compete level is relentless, whether he's battling in the corners, blocking shots, or carrying the puck end to end. He's not just playing to win, he's playing to dominate. Then there's his mindset. Losing his mother and billet mother to illness, as shared in a heartfelt interview on X, could have derailed him. Instead, it fueled him. Schaefer channels that pain into focus, into proving himself every single night. He's not loud or flashy, but his leadership is undeniable. Teammates follow him because he shows up on the ice, in the gym, in the moments that matter. Scouts praise his maturity and his ability to stay poised under pressure. One NHL scout told TSN, "He reminds me of Drew Doughty, controls the game without needing to scream about it." That's not just a compliment, that's a legacy comparison. Sure, Schaefer's not perfect. He'll overskate a gap or take a risky pinch now and then, but his drive to improve, that's what makes him dangerous. Now let's talk about tools. Schaefer's game starts with his skating. It's not just fast, it's electric. He glides like he's on a different surface, with power and balance that makes forecheckers look foolish. Watch him at the Gretzky Cup or U18s, and you'll see him burn opponents in transition, weaving through the neutral zone like a forward. His pivots are so sharp he can pivot from defense to offense in a heartbeat, and that's part of why scouts are calling him a game changer. Defensively, he's a shutdown artist. At 6'2", 183 pounds, he's not the biggest, but he's smart. His stick is active, his position impeccable. He closes gaps like a veteran, using that elite skating to recover effortlessly. Offensively, he's no slouch either. His 7 goals in 17 OHL games show a knack for jumping into the play, and his vision, calm, precise, sets up teammates with laser passes. He's not a power play quarterback like Cale Makar, but he's got upside to be a 50-point NHL defenseman. What ties it all together is his hockey sense. Schaefer reads plays before they happen, whether it's stepping up on a rush or pinching to keep a play alive. Yeah, he's not flawless, sometimes he'll force a pass, but his ability to impact all 3 zones makes him a unicorn in this draft.
And always brings up a memory, they score!
So the question is, why is Schaefer the guy now? A year ago, he was a first rounder, not a first overall. So what changed? For one, his production spiked. Those 22 points in 17 games weren't just numbers, they showed he could dominate at will. Injuries limited his sample size, but that only made his efficiency more glaring. Scouts couldn't ignore it. As the Athletic Scott Wheeler put it, he's a beautiful skater with quiet explosiveness. And usage helped. Erie leaned on him as their top defenseman, giving him big minutes in all situations: power play, penalty kill, crunch time. And he thrived under pressure, something that other top prospects like Hagen struggled with at times. Speaking of Hagens and Misa, they're still elite, but their stock hasn't soared like Schaefer's has. Misa's a goal-scoring machine, but some scouts worry about his two-way game. Hagens faded slightly at Boston College. Schaefer? He just keeps climbing. Maturity's a factor too. At age 17, he's younger than most in his class, yet he plays like a 20-year-old. His World Juniors injury, a broken collarbone, could have tanked his stock. Instead, he used rehab to study film and refine his game. More eyes on him at international events like the U17s and Gretzky Cup didn't hurt either. Gold medals and dominant performances put him on the map. The draft class itself isn't weak, but it does lack a Bedard or Celebrini. Schaefer's consistency and two-way dominance make him the safest bet.
Sharp angle. Schaefer beats his man.
So in the end, where does Schaefer land? After the Islanders won the 2025 draft lottery, TSN's Craig Button had them taking him first overall, calling him a franchise-changing defenseman. At 6'2", with his skating and smarts, he's a fit for any team. The Islanders, desperate for a blue-line cornerstone, could pair him with Dobson for a decade. But don't sleep on San Jose picking second. They need a top defenseman to complement Dickinson, and Schaefer's their guy if New York passes. Chicago, Utah, even Philly, teams in the top 5 are salivating over his versatility. Fit-wise, he's a dream. Modern NHL defenses need mobility, and Schaefer's skating makes him a power play weapon and a penalty kill rock. Some teams might hesitate because he's not a pure offensive dynamo, but his all-situations reliability outweighs that. Bleacher Report noted that he's already one of the best in junior hockey at transitioning plays. The controversy, though, is that some scouts still prefer Misa's scoring or Hagen's playmaking. A few wonder if Schaefer's ceiling is just a great number 2 defenseman. But with his youth, his work ethic, and track record, betting against him feels foolish at this point. In the end, Schaefer isn't just a prospect, he's a story. A kid from Stony Creek who turned tragedy into fuel, who skated past doubts to become the 2025 draft's undisputed top defenseman. His game, elite skating, shutdown instincts, offensive flashes, screams NHL star. But it's his mindset that sets him apart. The obsession, the leadership, the refusal to settle. And that's what makes him a cornerstone teams can build around. Is he perfect? No prospect is. He'll need to refine his decision-making, maybe add muscle to his 183-pound frame, but the foundation is there. The question isn't if Schaefer will be good, it's how good. A top-pair anchor, a Norris contender, or something even bigger. So here's my question to you. Is Schaefer a product of a weaker draft class, or are we looking at a future top-pair cornerstone? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. I read everyone, and I want to hear where you stand. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss my next breakdown. Until next time, keep your eyes on the ice and on Matthew Schaefer, and I'll see you in the next one.